Hey there! So, you want to learn about the right-of-way rules in the US, huh? Alright, let's break it down for you with an example. You're cruising down a sunny suburban street, and suddenly you arrive at a four-way stop. There are other drivers approaching the intersection too. So, who goes first? That's where right-of-way rules come into play. These rules make sure everyone stays safe and traffic flows smoothly. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of these rules. First come, first served, the driver who arrives at the stop sign first gets to go first. It's just like waiting in line at your favorite coffee shop, first in line, first to be served. Example, you reach the stop sign and see another car approaching from the left. Since you got there first, you have the right of way and can proceed. Yield to the right. If two drivers arrive at the intersection at the same time, the driver on the left must yield to the driver on the right. In other words, the driver on the right gets to go first. You and another driver reach the intersection simultaneously, with you on the left and the other driver on the right. In this case, you let the other driver go first because they're on your right. Straight before turning, drivers going straight have the right of way over drivers making a turn. Example, you're at the intersection waiting to turn left, and another driver is going straight from the opposite direction. You must let the other driver pass before you make your turn. Right turns over left turns. If two drivers are making turns, the one turning right has the right of way. Example, you and another driver are facing each other, both planning to turn. You're turning right, while the other driver is turning left. Since you're turning right, you get to go first. Yield to pedestrians and cyclists. Drivers must always yield the right of way to pedestrians and cyclists, regardless of whether there's a crosswalk or not. Example, you're approaching an intersection where a pedestrian is about to cross. Even if you got there first, you must stop and let the pedestrian cross safely. Roundabouts. When you approach a roundabout, yield to any traffic already inside the circle. Drivers in the roundabout have the right of way, so wait for a gap before entering. Example, you're approaching a roundabout and see cars circulating. Wait patiently for an opening in traffic, then merge in safely. Uncontrolled intersections. When there are no stop signs or traffic signals, the driver on the left must yield to the driver on the right. It's just like the rule we mentioned earlier, but this time there are no signs to guide you. Example, you arrive at an intersection without any signs, and there's a car approaching from your right. The driver on your right has the right of way, so you must let them pass before proceeding. Emergency vehicles. Always yield the right of way to emergency vehicles, like police cars, ambulances, and fire trucks, when their lights and sirens are on. Pull over to the right side of the road and come to a complete stop, allowing them to pass safely. Example, you hear an ambulance siren behind you while driving. Check your mirrors, signal, and move over to the right side of the road to let the ambulance pass. Merging and changing lanes. When merging onto a freeway or changing lanes, drivers should always yield to vehicles already in the lane they're entering. Use your turn signal and wait for a safe gap in traffic before merging. Example, you're entering the freeway from an on-ramp. Look for a gap in traffic, signal your intention to merge, and smoothly accelerate to match the speed of the traffic flow. Railroad crossings. At a railroad crossing, always yield the right of way to trains. Trains can't stop quickly, and they have the right of way by law. Be cautious, and don't try to beat a train to the crossing. Example, you see a train approaching a railroad crossing in the distance. Instead of trying to race it, slow down, and wait for the train to pass before proceeding. By understanding and following these right-of-way rules, you'll be better prepared for various driving situations and help keep the road safe for everyone. Remember, it's not just about knowing the rules, it's also about being patient and courteous to your fellow drivers. Drive safe and enjoy the ride.